What's up, gamers and collectors? DGC back with another video, and today we're taking a look at a nice juicy stack of some Switch pickups. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so I'm going to try to keep this video short for once. Real quick side story. So 2-3 years ago, sold off a lot of my collection for those of you that are new to the channel or just haven't watched in a while. And then Best Buy was doing a buy two get one sale. They kind of started it like in the summer, and then it pretty much ran all the way till just before Christmas. So I really took advantage of it this year. I've already shown off some of the other ones in my, this is basically this stack, and then this is like pretty much all the Switch games that I have currently. It's roughly 40-ish games now, and then there's a couple limited editions up there. But so it's getting back there. I'm only really mainly collecting exclusives for the Switch. Otherwise, to me, I mean, why would you collect multiplats on the Switch? That's just my personal opinion. To me, the Nintendo consoles are really just kind of for exclusives, but that's just me. I digress. So let's jump into this stack, talk about some of these games. A lot of really cool stuff here, a lot of stuff that I really am just very excited to jump in and play. First up here, we have 2 games from the GameCube ported up in HD, really just upscaled into HD, and that being Pikmin 1 and 2. Super excited to play this. I'm interested to see how, I guess these basically just have the GameCube controls essentially. They don't have the motion controls whatsoever, which kind of sucks. So I've never been a big motion control guy. For VR, it makes sense to use motion, and also it just makes sense to sometimes use a controller. Motion controls are cool for like light gun games and frankly stuff like this, like RTS games. It kind of just makes sense on like on a TV, right? Like on a PC with the mouse, RTS makes more sense. But on a console, going like this with the Wiimote and selecting all your Pikmin and stuff, it just made sense. So I'm curious to see how the controls work on this. I assume they're just basically the GameCube controls converted onto the Switch. Still excited to play that at some point. Alright, so next up here we have something that's a really kind of a treat, because this guy recently, I don't know if he quit or got fired from Platinum Games, but he no longer works for Platinum Games. He was the creator of Bayonetta, and without him, you kind of don't really have Bayonetta without the creator of Bayonetta. But Bayonetta Origins, Cereza, and the Lost Demon. So this is like a side quest Origins game of Cereza, Bayonetta, whatever you want to call her, so where she's like a little kid basically, and it kind of gives you her origin story. I feel like this. Well, one, the art style looks fantastic on this game. Let's be perfectly honest about that. It looks amazing. It's kind of got like a watercolor, vanillaware, Odin Sphere kind of look to it a little bit. It's like an action platformer type game, and I'm very excited to give this one a shot. It looks really cool. It looks very unique, very cute, very charming, and it just looks like a good time. But then also it kind of has a little bit of a dark, Bayonetta vibe to it with the demons and stuff, and it looks like a good time, and I'm really excited to play this one because it's a cool exclusive from a guy who at least currently is not working in the game industry anymore, and I'm excited to play it. This is kind of, and there's no way he didn't know that was coming, so I mean this has got to be a cool game. Like, he had to have added some love and care into this game, and I haven't really seen anyone talk about this game, let alone really ever, so like I don't know if this kind of went under everyone's radar because it's like a little bit of a niche game, but to me it looks kind of cool, so I'm excited to play it at some point this year. So here's a title that I need to beat the predecessor. You don't really need to, but I'm going to, and that being WarioWare Move It. The other one was WarioWare Get It Together, which that came out a while ago, and I just recently got it with the buy two get one free. But so here's the newer version of the Wario micro game franchise. So again, excited to play this. Both of them, really, for that matter. I played that one a teeny bit, but like I need to stop on a personal note, and I guess we all kind of need to do it with these big backlogs that we have. I need to just pick up a game, play it to completion, and then start a next one, which I am doing, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on, or maybe in a different video. All right, next up we got a rack of RPGs coming up. So I recently kind of just got into RPGs. I don't know why. I'm kind of just super into it here lately, and just kind of how it is. The Switch actually has a decent amount of exclusive RPGs for it. And here's a really cool one that came out, I want to say it was this year if I'm not mistaken, like early on in the year, and that being Triangle Strategy. So this has a very Octopath Traveler visual style to it. I don't really know a whole lot about this one. I did download the demo, but I never actually got around to playing it, and then now I just own it. So at some point in time, I definitely want to pick this or put it in and play it. And I'm truly excited for this. So much so that I need to clear all this dust off these sealed games. Alright, so here's a cool one that I actually have played the demo on the PS5 and on the Switch, but it's only available physically on the Switch. And that's Live a Live. So this one's actually really cool. So this was a Super Nintendo game that we never got in America. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, that it released very late in the Super Nintendo's life, and then that's probably why we didn't get it here. It's 8 little stories, RPG stories, kind of like Octopath in a weird way, if you think about it. The demo has 3 of the stories you can play. I only played one. I played the Japanese like ninja guy, but I didn't even really play it to completion because well, one, it's just the demo, but then 2, I really didn't want to spoil too much of the game for me. Like, I really want to delve into it, play it, and really enjoy it, because this is kind of like a cool 30-year-old treat that Square Enix is just like, hey, you know what? Let's give them that game that they never got back in the day. So it's a cool game. I really encourage you to try the demo. It's a very fun game. Beautiful looking game. Absolutely stunning looking game. Even on the Switch, it still looks really good. Alright, so here's one that came out very early on for the Nintendo Switch, and I've always wanted to grab it. I just never did because I was never sure if I was really 100% going to like the game. But if I like it, then this is one of the buy twos, and it'll be one of the twos. If I don't like it, it'll be one of the free ones. It is, this is permanently exclusive to the Switch because at this point, Disney now owns Marvel, and we're probably never going to get cool games like this ever again. Let's be honest. This came out right before the Disney Fox thing and all that stuff happened, or Marvel and Fox and Disney and all that nonsense. But so this Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3: The Black Order, Koei Tecmo and Team Ninja of all people. I didn't know that until I read the back of the case when I got it, obviously. But the first 2 games were great, and this came out. I want to say this was year 2 of the Switch. It's been like a long time coming for me to pick this up and get it. I think this is probably something I will stream. I guess for future reference, guys, I'm going to try to start streaming every Tuesday night and Thursday night, and then Sundays will be the night that, or the day that I release a video. So that's kind of going to be the new schedule going forward in 2024. And I think you guys might enjoy Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, a stream. Play the full game to completion throughout streams, and I think that would be kind of fun and entertaining. I will likely stream somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern for roughly an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, depending on how much time I get on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So just hit the bell notification, you'll be notified, and or just try to chime in around after dinner time, around 7, 8 o'clock Tuesdays and Thursdays. But yeah, so we're going to start out with Ultimate Alliance and fully play that game on stream. I think that could be a fun little experience. Dragon Quest Monsters: The Dark Prince. So, this one kind of has a funny story to it. Well, funny to me, and more or less really just kind of annoying. I pre-ordered this forever ago, on Best Buy, obviously. I had it to where they were going to ship it to me, and they didn't. They were like, hey, we ran out of copies, so I was like, cool, I'll hit switch to pick up at store. No problem, I'll go pick it up, whatever. And then they're like, they switched it, and then it said, hey, come in an hour and it'll be ready. Okay, great. I drive all the way there thinking it's ready. I go in, they have no idea what I'm talking about. They didn't even know what this was because when this first launched, every store only got like 2 or 3 of them. They were like extremely limited at launch. They're not hard to find now, but at launch, they just, Square for whatever reason just didn't make a lot of these, and so it ended up they ended up like finding it in the back somewhere like a day later, and they were like, oh hey, we found your game, so I went and picked it up. Excited to play this. Again, there is a demo for this on the Switch as well, exclusive to the Switch. This is the 3rd game in the series. There was one on the Game Boy, then on the DS, and then now the Switch. This is kind of Square's take on Pokemon, but with the monsters of Dragon Quest. And the demo, I will have to say, is pretty choppy and doesn't really look great. However, if you can get past that to get a cool game experience that you really, I mean, the last one came out like 15 years ago, and then the one prior to that was like 15 years before that. So I mean, this is really like a once every other generation you kind of get a Dragon Quest Monsters game. So you may as well get it while the getting's good and grab it, or at least play the demo. Here's another Dragon Quest game, exclusive to the Switch, Dragon Quest Treasures for the Switch. So I actually picked this one up not from Best Buy. This one actually was from Amazon. They had a sale during the Black Friday extravaganza for $30, but still a very good price for this. So this was not part of the buy two get ones that I did. But yeah, so for $30, still haven't had a chance to open it and play it yet. All these are actually still sealed, so I haven't had a chance to play any of them yet. I will open them whenever I get ready to play them. So this is more of a side quest game. Again, Dragon Quest Monsters is more of like, it's not the main series, kind of like Dragon Quest Builders isn't the main thing. And then what was the other one? Dragon Quest, I think it was Heroes 1 and 2. That was like PS1 or PS4 game. I think it was called Dragon Quest Heroes, maybe. It was like it was a Warriors game, but like Dragon Quest-y. I remember when that came out a long time ago. But yeah, so Dragon Quest always kind of trying to do some little sidestepping and different alterations to their formula, which is cool. They come out with cool stuff. I don't really know a whole lot about this one. I just know it's not an RPG. I think it's more of like a hack and slash type of, I guess, RPG you could say, and not like a traditional like turn-based like a Dragon Quest game, and or like a, I think it's probably Final Fantasy Light, where it's like RPG light kind of, I guess. But again, I have no idea. I haven't played it yet. I think there is a demo for that as well too, but I haven't even played the demo for that. This is the final, yeah, I guess this is the final RPG in the stack here, and the first of 3 Pokemon games that I picked up here. Pokemon Shining Pearl. I've already beaten this, but again, I think a lot of people hate on this, the Diamond and the Pearl, if I'm not mistaken. Someone that's big into Pokemon, let me know. I think that's the consensus for the Pokemons, that people hate Diamond and Pearl for whatever reason. I don't mind them. I thought it was great. I loved the little chibi art style with the characters and the world and everything. I had a blast with it when I played it, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm picking that up. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think this might have been from Amazon as well for $30. It was either GameStop or Amazon where I got this one for $30. I can't remember because I bought so many damn games over the holiday. So many so that there's actually still a whole nother pickups video of PS5 games coming some point in the future. All those were cheap though, I swear. Next up is another Pokemon game. This is Pokemon Legends Arceus. And I really loved this game when it came out. This was a breath of fresh air for the Pokemon franchise, and it was cool because it was a new type of Pokemon coming out, or like not genre, but like a new breath of fresh air in the genre of the Pokemon. It wasn't just your typical RPG nonsense, which they're great, but sometimes it gets a little stale, and this was a really cool, it was just fun, like traveling through the world and looking at all the different Pokemon, and like you get destroyed by some and then eventually work your way over to them and this and that. It was a blast. When did this come out? This was 22, so this has been over a year ago that this came out. I remember when this came out, I really did have a blast with it. I don't know that I beat it though. I remember getting very far into it. I want to say that I beat it, but I really don't remember. Pretty sure I did. But either way, I remember enjoying the shit out of it. Bought it again because I want to replay it. Here's another Pokemon game that I actually haven't even had a chance to really do much of. I haven't even really watched any trailers or anything for it. He's chilling right here, Mr. Detective Pikachu. This is Detective Pikachu Returns for the Switch. I really liked the 3DS game. I thought it was a cool sidestep to the main Pokemon RPG stuff, and it was different. It was cool. It was fresh. It was enjoyable, and I assume this is more or less the same experience, just on the TV, and I'm good with it, or I guess handheld mode too, for that matter. But I'm about it. I'm wanting to play this at some point, and I hope they keep it going. I hope they make another movie. Alright, we're getting down to the bottom of the stack here, guys. What are we at? 15 minutes? I told you I was going to try to keep it short for once. Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. Alright, so this is my childhood Zelda. So as a kid, all I had was the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy Color till I was, I guess, 12 or 13 when I finally got the GameCube. And I just remember, you know, all the friends had N64s as a kid, and they all had Ocarina of Time and whatnot. And I remember always being jealous that everyone got to play this cool Zelda thing. I didn't know there was Zelda on the Super Nintendo till I was basically almost an adult. I just had no idea. But and I remember finally seeing that they had Zelda on the Game Boy way back in the day, and I remember picking it up and playing it and loving it. And then when they announced this, boy, was I yelling at the goddamn screen like Etika when they announced this, man. I was so excited for it. This is definitely a top 5 Switch game for me, just because it holds so many memories for me, and I absolutely love this game, so I absolutely had to re-add this into the collection. And what I like most about this one is that it's so easy to play, and it's so easy to pick up and to explore the world, and it's this to me is like a good initial Zelda game for someone to play. Like if you want to get your kids into Zelda or something, or just into Nintendo games and that kind of stuff, this is like a really easy Zelda game to get into, and for that I kind of just love it. But then also just the chibi art style and the music and just to me, the way it's laid out, and then like traversing the world, just everything about it was just really well done. And this is a perfect remake. It really was, and I loved every bit of it. So I'm really excited to play that again. At some point in my life, I will replay it again. This was definitely from Amazon. This was $15 during the little Black Friday sales that they were having. Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. This is a Warriors game. This is now their. They did Hyrule Warriors. Then they did Fire Emblem Warriors. Yeah, so it was Hyrule Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors, Age of Calamity, Hyrule Warriors, and then Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I'd really like to get a Xenoblade Warriors game, if we could, Nintendo, and Koei Tecmo. This is Koei Tecmo that makes this, right? Pretty sure that's who it makes this, but I could be mistaken. Pretty sure that's who it is, though. But I would like a Xenoblade Warriors game. I mean, they literally all have swords. It only makes sense, Nintendo. Alright, so next up here we have 4 more games. 2 of these, I guess both of these kind of 2 and 2 go together. We've got Super Mario Odyssey and Luigi's Mansion 3 here. They go together because they're brothers. I do really like Luigi's Mansion 3. It was a great little experience. It was the perfect amount of time. It was the perfect... Again, this is probably one of my more favorite Switch games. Got my phone going off. Got a little Incubus going off with my alarm clock. That's going to get me a copyright strike. Luigi's Mansion 3, though. It was again, it was just such a perfect game. The music, the atmosphere, the graphics. These are probably some of the better graphics, in my opinion, on the Switch. The visuals of it, the art style, everything about it, the traversing of the mansions and everything, or well, one mansion. It was really good. It was very good, and I'm really excited to play this again. I'm super excited to play Luigi's Mansion 2 on the Switch. Hope we get the first one. My theory on that is, though, I think they are actually remaking the first one for the successor Switch, and I think that might be a launch title. I think it might be a big blown out 4K version. This is me just being a Nintendo optimist here, hoping Nintendo's releasing a nice 4K console with some beautiful visuals, and Luigi's Mansion will make its debut 20 plus years later in beautiful 4K. A Nintendo guy can wish, right? Super Mario Odyssey, again, just another staple for your Switch. You pretty much have to have this, so like I had to get it again. Great game. I remember beating this and really enjoying it. This was really this was one of this was really their first big game for the system, other than Breath of the Wild. But to me, it was the same. It was on the Wii U and the Switch, but this was their first like actual big Switch exclusive, and it was good. It was good. All right, so last up here we got 2 pink puffball games, Kirby Star Allies and Kirby the Forgotten Land. I definitely have beaten this one. It's been so long that I've played this for sure, a lot of it, but I don't remember if I beat it or not. But regardless, I love Kirby, so I had to grab it. I now have all the Kirby games on Switch. There's 3 of them, which it seems like there's so many more, but there's really only 3. And then there's a few little digital sprinkled in Kirby games that they add throughout the years. But I don't really care about those because they're not physical. But yeah, Kirby games, great. This was a really good game. My only gripe with it, and I want to, again, replay the whole game, it was just too damn short. I remember beating this game in like 6 or 7 hours, and to me, on one hand, that's nice to beat something that quick, but then on the other hand, it's like 6 or 7 hours. That's pretty light. Now, granted, that's not collecting every little thing and whatnot, but I mean, 6 or 7 hours to burst through a campaign is pretty light. Kirby Star Allies, I think that one's a little bit longer. But yeah, those are all the pickups. That was all the Switch stuff that I've picked up over the last like 4 or 5 months, really. I kind of just built it up to show it all in one video here at the end. Well, beginning of the year, I guess you could say. But that was all from 2023, and I just kind of stored it up. The next pickups video, which is going to be a couple videos from now, just a bunch of PS5, and there's some PS4 games in there as well. I'm actually trying not to buy as many games this year, even though it seems ridiculous like I have. But a lot of this was buy 2 get 1's free, and then it's just cheap from Amazon. And I really just have been trying to get some deals on this stuff to re-get my Switch collection back while it's still, I don't want to say cheap, but 3 Hopes or whatever for $15 new. You can't beat that. What was the other one? That was 30. Oh, Dragon Quest Treasures for $30. That's a good deal anyway. You slice it. $30 for a brand new Switch game that's only a year old. I mean, that's not bad at all. That's a good little sale right there. But so yeah, I think I need roughly about. I have 1 more Switch game coming in the mail, and then there's 2 more that I really want, but I'm just waiting to strike on like a good deal. And then I think I've pretty much gotten back all the Switch stuff that I like really wanted to own. There might be a couple more stragglers, but leave a comment down below if there's some Switch games exclusives that I'm lacking in the collection that I need to grab. Because I'm curious what. I mean, there's still a few more Pokemon games that I need to grab, but those are always pricey. They're always going to be pricey, or at least hold their value. So again, I'm going to try to grab those when I can at a slightly better price. Maybe they'll go on sale. Every once in a while, Pokemon games go on sale. But yeah, I'm trying to think. That's really it. Like maybe Pikmin 3 I wouldn't mind getting, but again, I would want that like super cheap because there's just really no point. Like I have the Wii U version. There's no point in playing it on the Switch. It's an inferior version. It's way better on the Wii U. So there's just no point in getting that. But either way, that's all the stuff I added to the Switch collection. I effectively doubled the Switch collection in 1 year just because I had no Switch games, and then I bought so many this year. So, but I have been enjoying the Switch. I really have been. It's really grown on me. I don't think it's a piece of crap anymore. I really don't. I think it's a good console now. I think it has enough games to stand on its own legs. I think the Wii U is finally. There's nothing left to take from the Wii U. There's nothing left. The Switch has to stand on its own legs now. And then next generation, I'm excited for the next Nintendo system because it's going to be, it pretty much has to be a bunch of new games. Like, they have to. They can't just port shit from the Switch because it just wouldn't make any sense. The one thing I foresee, the predictions that I see for Switch 2, and I'll leave you with these thoughts. I think it's going to be Luigi's Mansion 1 is going to be the big launch title, personally. And then the other thing is, I think during that generation, we're going to see a lot of GameCube games, Chibi Robo, Custom Robo, a lot of, they're really going to try to harken back to the GameCube generation of kids and like, you know, people my age. And it's just kind of my thought and my hope and my theory. It would be kind of cool to see a lot of those games get remade and stuff. Probably not going to happen. I think the Luigi Mansion thing, I think that could be a plausible thing that could happen, being that we're getting 2. We already have 3. Where's 1 at? Doesn't make sense for us to not have that on the same system. So I think they're holding that for the launch of the Switch 2, which I would be okay with that. I think that would be a good little launch title. 4K, beautiful visuals, you know, nice NVIDIA DLSS, little NVIDIA fog, and have like Luigi's hair just like looking perfect because it's in like 4K. It would be cool. It would be cool. And like the ghost being like super transparent and stuff. That would be really cool to see. It really would be. Alright guys, if you have any Switch games you think I should be adding to the collection, or just any of these games you want to talk about, be sure to leave a comment down below. Look forward to hearing from you. And again, Tuesdays and Thursdays, somewhere in the 7 to 8, maybe into 9 o'clock range is where I'm going to be streaming on YouTube. And catch you there. Peace out for now, guys. Till next time.
Come here, you mother... This is it, baby.